And it just seems like they keep trying to push laws that are unconstitutional.
You know what I think is happening? I think they're trying to. They're tired of everyone leaving the state because they're still making enough money to afford to leave the state. So I think if they collapse California, I can't leave the state.
Wow, we would have never believed this. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on Google. Go out there and listen to us. So we're excited about it. We're glad you're excited about it too.
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new week of Relevant Rants.
Brand new week, but Alex, it seems like the same old news.
It's like Groundhog's Day.
That's funny you say that.
Yeah, I'm here again because Mike is in Florida partying it up.
Enjoying Florida,
at a
Mike.
business retreat thing,
Yeah,
I
he
guess.
is. He's learning. He's going to bring back business.
Oh, yeah, 100%. He always does.
He does. He does.
Oh, yeah.
So we're glad to be here. I'm glad to be here with you.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
Yeah, we're talking about the relevant things, and something that's relevant is caffeine.
Oh, yeah.
Caffeine is a very relevant substance here, and
100%.
Covenant Coffee is a sponsor of all of our shows,
Mm-hmm.
from Lunch Break, Muscle Matters, Ministry Matters, and Relevant Rants.
Yeah.
So we started a new series this week called Mentorship.
Yeah, the Mentality Unleashed.
Yeah,
Yes, but
yeah. emphasizing
on the men.
Yeah. So hey, check that out.
100%.
So Covenant Coffee has a mission. They help emancipated foster kids who are out of the system, but there's no more money to support them. And so Randy does a great job here in town locally. He has a local shop where he brings in emancipated foster kids, teaches them how to roast beans, how to serve customers, how to inventory a store, and he gives them life skills, which is helping them not become a statistic, which a lot of times foster kids become. So I want to thank Randy for Covenant Coffee sponsoring our show and the work that he's doing out there.
For sure.
So we have a group that's not doing their job, which is the Biden administration.
Have they ever done their job?
I don't think they have.
Or they do a job, but they just lie about what job they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, it is so ridiculous that we have such a administration that is basically known for its lying and its being old, aged out, and not cognizantly present.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just, Joe Biden is just, man, we got to catch a clue. And we're going to have an election where, it's almost like, people are going to vote for the old person that they like because no one else is there. It's like we had the Republican debate in California at the Ronald Reagan library, the center down there, and it was a fiasco. And Newsom was sitting in for the Biden administration because I think it was past Joe's nap time.
For sure.
But Newsom was there. But talking about being there is like our border. There's no one present at our border except for people entering our country by the droves. I like this Juanita Broderick, and she says they are coming in by the thousand, and no one in this administration gives a
flip.
Yeah. And you could figure out what word she's using.
Say it, Tom. You're the pastor. Say the
word. I know. But I think Elon Musk sums it up well. And I think he said something that was kind of interesting, that we're seeing so much of Elon Musk. It's like we know what he looks like. Before it was such a,
he's always in a suit. And
yeah.
Now he just looks like some guy's dad.
Yeah. So we're going to play a clip for you and you can go look it up. But I think Elon Musk goes to where something is happening and reveals and rips back the facade.
Exactly.
You're just talking to America here, and people just want to understand exactly what's going on, but assume that people do not know what's going on.
Well, you got to go back some time, and whenever the open border policies from the White House kind of got thrown out there, we've been overrun.
How long was that? How long ago was that?
What year was that?
2 years ago.
2 years
We're on
ago.
our third year.
We've been battling it for 2 years, and
okay.
Change.
So,
if they don't know what's going on, because if they did, they would care.
I think they know exactly what's going on, and they don't care because, and then they're going to probably try to give them the right to the vote.
Well, they already have. Have you heard about the Venezuelan population to New York? They come in, they go to New York, they get a Social Security card and a driver's license, and guess what? The driver's license is attached, so you get a ballot sent to you during elections.
Beautiful.
It's such a deception, and I like what Elon Musk is doing. It's so crazy, isn't it, Alex, that Elon Musk 4 or 5 years ago was on the left, and now he's on the right. So they're investigating him with his space program, and they can't stand it.
He's trying to leave before he gets arrested. They can't catch him if he's in space.
Isn't it crazy? They can't stand it when they lose their supporters.
Exactly.
Russell Brand last week. I mean, everybody knew he was a pervert, and he's come out now, and he's kind of coming around, and now they're saying he's talking about how ridiculous the administration for Biden is, and the policies that are in place. They're coming out, and they're over in Britain, and they're getting him for sex scandals.
Well, you know what's interesting too, and I think this is what's even more sickening is I'm in the camp that, like, we you guys brought it up last week. I think he might have done it, all of it. I think it could all be true.
I don't doubt he did it because
but they protected him.
He
and then
said
they
what a
the protection.
scumbag he was.
Yeah.
And now that he is kind of considering and changing his ways,
he's not a team player anymore. So they're like, all right, now time to take you out, and figuratively.
So I love it as they're out there talking about the border. We know it's a mess, and the only one that's saying it's not a mess is the Biden administration. It's just hey, but we live in the great state of California under the czar. Gavin Newsom and Comrade Newsom.
What paycheck? What pay cut am I going to take today?
Yeah. So there's a music mogul's daughter criticizing Gavin Newsom for California policies, and is the goal to be a socialist state? Yes.
I think we already are one.
It's the most ridiculous thing. California Governor Newsom was there at the Biden. To represent Biden at the GOP debate. And it's interesting, the best debate I saw on the debate was Hannity and Newsom when he opened it up, because Hannity just got off the plane coming, and they drove past the gas station. He said, wait a second, go back. $7 a gallon for gas?
Another pay cut.
And he was asking Newsom. And all the Newsom administration can do is point to the gas company, says they're price gouging. You don't let them drill in one of the most oil-rich states in the union, and we're not drilling. Hey, it's supply and demand. $7 because the supply isn't meeting the demand.
Exactly.
And Biden brought it down, and of course, if you don't know why it came down, go back and watch some of our shows. He took out of the oil reserves, and didn't replace it. Now he refuses to replace it. They're getting us to depend on them. So here we have this in the wonderful Comrade Newsom state, where we have insurance companies leaving the country by droves. They're basically saying we cannot do business in the state of California. So
it's not profitable anymore.
So hey, these are the biggies: State Farm, Allstate, Farmers, Progressive, and they're all saying that we haven't had a increase in insurance premiums because it's regulated by Comrade Newsom and the state of California. And so the most they've had was a 3%, but they're showing that their percentages right now that they want to up it is the lowest 6.9, and Progressive wants to go to 19.5% because of the losses that they're taking in California.
Exactly.
My daughter had a tail light that was broken out, and she took it in to have it estimated. It was $1,000. I was like, whoa.
For a busted taillight?
Yes. Because the collision department says we got to pull the trunk door off, and we got to take all the implements off, and then we need to repaint it and re-put the stickers on. And so what's going to happen this week is my son-in-law, Danny,
is going to work on the car.
we're going to buy a light for $35 on eBay.
There you go.
And he's going to install it, and he's going to buff out the end. So we're going to be in this thing of course, I'm going to pay him for his time, probably $100.
Yeah, good deal.
He's an engineer, and it's not what he makes being an engineer, but we're resorting, not going to a collision center that gave us a estimate, because I don't doubt it's what the right measure would be to do it, but we can't afford it. My daughter can't afford it. So my son-in-law's like, hey, I'm in town. I'm an engineer. I'll do it.
Exactly.
I was like, you're kidding. It's crazy too, because right when everybody is using the policies or the policies in place, and they've ran for school board, and people who are conservative mind have got elected on the school board. Chino, city here in California, California legislator passes a measure to reduce school board power. So they're basically reducing the school board's power and cutting it to the point where they can't choose curriculum.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Or the books. You know, it's so interesting when you go out and if you look at some of the books that they're allowing kids to read, and these school boards are using a modicum of common sense and saying, we don't want our kids hearing pornography.
Yeah.
There's a book called Gender Queer, and you can go out and look it up, and it's supposed to be in the library and read to children. Well, they won't even allow that book to be read at school board meetings.
Because it's inappropriate.
Because it's inappropriate. But the kids get to hear it because it's part of the curriculum. So now you have school boards which are saying, we don't want that in, but now Comrade Newsom, California's czar, is saying, okay, we're going to pass measures which are going to stop school boards from using their common sense, or at least their morality, to not allow that in, which I'm all for.
Wait, if the school board doesn't get to decide any of those things, what's their job then?
Yeah. Yeah, they get to hire and probably can't even fire. And
Yeah.
It's basically Newsom's like, hey, you're playing by our rules, so we're going to change the rules. And what's the old saying? Who has the gold rules? The golden rule is who has the gold rules.
Exactly.
And that's Comrade Newsom. But it's interesting that they're talking about disinformation, and that is the left's biggest thing. And they're asking the question. People are asking the question at the Sacramento Bee, which sounds to be in one of Newsom's, headline cities in the state of California, Sacramento. Why doesn't California AG Bob Bonta investigate Governor Newsom for spreading disinformation? Because every time he talks about Kern County being the murder capital of California. And he comes after us because Kevin McCarthy, who is the Speaker of the House, this is his district. But it's not true. I mean, the fact of interest is that there's articles out there that explains that we're not. I mean, I pulled up one in the Bakersfield, Californian. It says Kern County no longer number one highest on homicide rate in California. But it's even when you look at those statistics, it's interesting that the Attorney General for the state of California, the DOJ, is coming up with the statistics. I found several this week that puts us not even in the top 10 all the time.
Well, I'm tired of Newsom making Kern County the butt of California when it's an armpit of California.
Yeah,
but it's
because
of the air quality.
Yeah. Yeah,
let's
and we'll agree with that.
Yeah, exactly. Like Bakersfield, if it had way better air quality, it'd be a pretty nice city.
Yeah, and we have a great economy, which is being noticed by people in Northern California and Southern because they're moving here, and we have a balance of agriculture and oil and business. And
we're a bunch of conservatives because we actually were.
We pretty much led the charge on getting Newsom recalled, but with the popularity of Newsom in San Francisco, LA, and San Diego, you can't get him out of office.
Exactly.
It's so crazy because I talk to a lot of Democratic friends that have the same opinion we do. He's just slimy.
Oh,
he comes from a corrupt...
He's like a movie villain.
A corrupt political family that includes Jerry Brown and Pelosi and the rest. And he's just suave, Exactly. It reminds me of a Rico Suave. So, but crime is a problem. I mean, You have a murderer who shot a deputy and killed a chaplain at age 24, granted youth offender parole.
What is youth offender parole if you're 24 years old?
It's basically saying we're not really going to get you for the crime you commit. You know, it's so funny that in Fox News they talked about don't let our country follow in California's footsteps of high crime, homelessness, and we're a mess.
100%.
I mean, it's crazy that if they would really go on the streets like Elon Musk did, and went to San Francisco and went to L.A. My wife was in L.A. yesterday, and she was just saying, it is terrible. The homelessness.
It's insane.
Just the whole, you know, I mean, and they had to go downtown into Beverly Hills and to UCLA. And my wife's like, I just don't remember this city being like this 5 years ago.
Because it wasn't.
It wasn't. It's just the short time that things change. You know, it's funny that California, right when people get something going, the Newsom strikes a deal. Before we get to our zero emissions rule, it triggers the trucking companies to buy up all the diesel rigs before the deadline. Now, tell me that wasn't going to happen. Say you're in business and you have a deadline. You're going to go out and buy up all the trucks that you can buy, and they're going to be legal to drive in California.
Exactly.
So it's like they set this unrealistic goal of zero emission, and everyone's like, oh yeah, we'll help with that. We'll buy all the diesel trucks and be able to drive them. There's no hand in glove. I saw a commercial last week, and Mike and I talked about it on last week's Irrelevant Rants, that the hybrids are being touted because electric is point to point, and then you travel with fossil fuel, gasoline, are the long hauls. Makes perfect sense.
Exactly. And if you have a hybrid, it's the best of both worlds.
It is.
Because you get that good gas mileage, like you get like 30, 40 miles per gallon.
Majority of Californians, and this is a poll that was done, believe the state is going in the wrong direction.
That's such a vague poll, though. Do you think it's in the wrong direction? Yes.
It's like anybody that comes to California with the insurance companies leaving, with the unrealistic zero emissions, and then you even have Governor Newsom striking down legal California gun law. I mean, as he puts in gun laws that are more restrictive than any other state, it's going to be appealed at the federal level, and they'll strike them down. It's almost like a shoving match. And it almost gets into California where you don't know what to do about it, right?
Exactly.
But apparently the Dallas mayor knows what to do. He left the Democratic Party and switches to the GOP. He says American cities need Republicans.
He's probably like, what is happening to these cities? Maybe I'm on the wrong team.
I'm going to Austin tomorrow, and every time I travel back to Texas or to Tennessee, one of the things that they greet us with is "Welcome to America."
Yeah, or like that can also reminds me of like I forgot what movie it was, but it's a guy like he's dressed up in a military uniform, and his their logo is a skull and crossbones, and he goes, "Are we the baddies?"
It is. So you get a mayor who runs on the Democratic ticket, and he just says, "No, I'm switching teams." Hey, common sense, let it prevail. Here we go. California's got a new concealed gun restriction, but the sheriff says he won't enforce unconstitutional law. I love it when you have people who are like looking at this thing and going, "You can't do that." Mm-hmm. It's against the law. And it takes a sheriff to tell the czar of California, "I can't enforce this. It's unconstitutional." And I think we saw that during the COVID thing.
Oh, we did.
I mean, we had churches that stood their ground, like our church, and said, No.
I think BPD was like, yeah, we're not going to enforce that because there's better things that we need to actually take care
Our
of.
sheriff, Donnie Youngblood, said no. PPD said no. We had people say, that's unconstitutional. We're not going to come down and close churches down, which we know now, and it's very little publicized. But churches have won the lawsuits against state of California for doing something unconstitutional, like making them or giving them a feeling you'll be arrested if you keep your churches open. And then we had, for your sake out there, we decided to take the COVID off the list, the gender dysphoria off. We don't want to bore you guys. It's all the time, every day. And it just seems like they keep trying to push laws that are unconstitutional.
You know what I think is happening? I think they're trying to, they're tired of everyone leaving the state because they're still making enough money to afford to leave the state. So I think if they collapse California, I can't leave the state.
Here's a good feeling video, and I think it. Can we play this? Because
100%.
You got to have some fun in your life. And here's a horse that saw a bike race and thought he would join in.
This horse was chilling in a pasture by himself when he saw a bunch of bikers racing, and he just couldn't help himself. I thought he was just going to run alongside it at first, but nope, homie just jumped the fence. And what's amazing is the race continues. He is probably so excited to be part of this race. I'm assuming he's been in that pasture for a while by himself because I don't see any other horses. And he just wanted to be part of something great. Look, he even looks back when he takes the lead, and he's like, "Come on, guys."
But I think that wraps it up, does it?
Oh, yeah.
Do we have
Yes,
anything else?
That's it.
I get it. And I think we kept our time today.
I forgot to hit the time.
but it's that fun. Hey, there again, we're ranting about stuff, but it's things that if you catch our show, we're watching it happen before our eyes too. And we could just keep playing the same show over again, it seems like. But we've got a chance to change things. If you're not a citizen, become a citizen legally. Register to vote, and we're not telling you how to vote. But I think common sense will tell you we need a change.
I agree. 100%.
And so, have a great day.
God bless.